I spent an entire day planning to start a 30-minute task. 8 hours of planning, 0 minutes of doing. That's when I realized procrastination isn't about being lazy. It's about being afraid. And the solution isn't motivation. It's permission to be mediocre for exactly 15 minutes. For years, I treated every task like it had to be perfect from the start. Email responses needed to be eloquent. Work projects needed to be flawless. Even grocery lists needed to be optimized. My brain would spin these elaborate scenarios. What if this isn't good enough? What if I miss something important? What if I start and can't finish properly? So I'd wait for the right mood, the perfect plan, the ideal conditions. Meanwhile, deadlines approached and stress mounted. Then I stumbled across research about something called temporal discounting, how our brains perceive effort differently based on time frames. A task that feels infinite triggers our avoidance systems. The same task with a 15-minute boundary feels achievable. It's not about the work, it's about how our minds frame it. I decided to test this with my biggest source of procrastination, clearing my overflowing email inbox. 847 unread emails. I'd been avoiding it for weeks. The rule was simple. Work for exactly 15 minutes. When the timer stops, I stop. No exceptions, even if I'm halfway through an email. Day 1. I processed 12 emails. Not spectacular, but they were done. When the timer rang, I was tempted to continue, but I stopped. The deal was 15 minutes, not 15 plus whatever felt good. The strangest part? I felt relieved, not guilty about stopping, not anxious about the remaining emails, just relieved that I'd started. Day 2, 15 emails. Day 3, 18. Day 4, 21. I wasn't getting faster at emails. I was getting faster at starting. 2 weeks in, something shifted. The timer rang during a complex email that needed careful thought. Instead of stopping mid-sentence like usual, I found myself thinking, just 2 more minutes to finish this properly. But I stopped anyway, because the rule wasn't about maximizing work. It was about building trust with myself. If I said 15 minutes, it meant 15 minutes. That's when I understood what was really happening. I wasn't just clearing emails. I was proving to my procrastinating brain that starting didn't mean committing to hours of suffering. 3 insights emerged that I never saw coming. First, perfectionism was actually fear wearing a fancy outfit. I wasn't waiting for ideal conditions. I was avoiding the possibility of creating something imperfect. Second, starting is exponentially harder than continuing. Once I was in motion, staying in motion felt natural. All the resistance lived at the beginning. Third, small consistent actions compound in ways that occasional heroic efforts never do. 15 minutes daily beat, waiting for 4-hour blocks that rarely came. Here's how to use this for any task you're avoiding. 1. Choose one specific task, not organize life, something like clean desk or write introduction. 2. Set a timer for exactly 15 minutes. Use your phone. Make it visible. 3. During those 15 minutes, only do that task. No checking messages, no quick research, no multitasking. 4. When it rings, stop immediately. Honor the boundary, even if you're in flow. 5. Repeat daily. Consistency matters more than intensity or duration. 3 months later, my relationship with difficult tasks had completely changed. Not because I became more disciplined, but because I made starting less scary. The 15-minute rule taught me that procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's a protection mechanism. When we make tasks feel manageable, our brains stop protecting us from them. The paradox is beautiful. By giving yourself permission to do less, you end up doing more. By setting smaller boundaries, you create larger changes. What task have you been postponing because it feels too big, too perfect, too important to start imperfectly? What would happen if you gave it just 15 minutes today? Not to finish it, just to begin. Sometimes the smallest commitment creates the biggest shift.